Welcome back, seekers of truth to the darkened crypt. I am your host, Mr. Cornwell, and tonight we venture into waters so deep, so mysterious, that even the most seasoned investigators of the unknown find themselves gasping for answers in the darkness. You've returned to me, as I knew you would. The pull of the unexplained, the magnetic draw of mysteries that challenge everything we thought we knew about our world, our universe, and our place within it. And tonight, we shall not disappoint that hunger for truth. Here is the latest update on the Buga sphere that has sauntered into the world's collective eyes, just when we're just beginning to come to grips with South American Peruvian discoveries. Now this sphere from the heavens, as it were. Observed behaviors: immune to heat, doesn't absorb thermal energy from flame, evaporates water instantly, liquid vanishes on contact without heating the sphere. What this likely means: the sphere has a self-regulating surface, possibly a quantum skin or field layer. It isolates itself from external energy, like heat, and disrupts molecular contact, like water. This suggests it's designed to preserve internal conditions no matter the environment. Speculative purpose: a containment shell for exotic materials, a sensor or transmitter built to withstand extreme environments, a cloaked or passive observation device that avoids interference. For months now, whispers have circulated through the underground networks of researchers, archaeologists, and those brave enough to ask the questions that mainstream science dares not voice. What if a single object held secrets, but only spoke when the universe aligned? This sphere emits irregular radio frequencies, not random but precise, bursts of logic. Each one could be triggered by quantum fluctuations, cosmic background resonance, even its position in space. Inside, glyphs form a kind of symbolic circuitry, possibly activated when harmonic conditions are just right. Think of it as a multidimensional time capsule, only revealing data under specific cosmic frequencies. Decode the signals and we might find language like structures, mathematical constants, even entanglement keys. Is it a black box from another timeline, a universal translator for quantum data, or a beacon calling across time and space? To find out, we listen, and we wait for the next signal. But here, in the shadows of the darkened crypt, we illuminate what others would keep hidden. Tonight, we go deeper than ever before into what may be the most significant UFO-related discovery of our time. A discovery that connects ancient mysteries to cutting-edge technology, that bridges the gap between our earthbound existence and the vast cosmic intelligence that watches us from the stars above. I speak, of course, of the Buga sphere, but this is not merely another tale of mysterious metal falling from the sky. No, what we're about to explore together reaches into the very heart of extraterrestrial surveillance, ancient astronaut theory, and evidence that suggests we are not alone and never have been. The story begins in Colombia, in a place where the veil between our world and others has always been thin, where ancient civilizations once looked to the stars not with wonder, but with recognition, where they carved images not of gods, but of visitors. But before we delve into the extraordinary microscopic discoveries that have sent shockwaves through the scientific underground, let me paint for you the broader canvas upon which this masterpiece of mystery is drawn. The year was 2024. Biologist José de los Ríos López, a name that will become legendary in the annals of extraterrestrial research, made a discovery that would challenge every assumption we hold about the nature of intelligence, technology, and the watching eyes that monitor our world. But who is this José de los Ríos López? Some call him controversial, others label him a maverick, but those who seek truth recognize him as a pioneer, a man willing to peer into the abyss of the unknown, while others turn away in fear. You see, Ríos López is no ordinary researcher. His work extends beyond the Buga sphere to the enigmatic Nazca mummies of Peru, those tridactyl beings that have sparked global debate ever since we were the first to show you in North America and around the world this amazing discovery, and forced us to reconsider our understanding of life itself. When a scientist of his caliber makes a discovery, the world pays attention, even when that world would prefer to look away. Leaning forward, voice dropping to almost a whisper. The Buga sphere appeared unremarkable at first glance, a metallic orb recovered from Colombian soil composed primarily of aluminum alloyed with trace elements, copper, manganese, zinc. Standard metallurgical analysis revealed it to be magnetically hard with internal temperature fluctuations that defied conventional explanation. But it was when Rios Lopez turned his microscope upon this artifact that the universe cracked open and revealed its secrets. What he found, my fellow truth-seekers, were filaments. Not random mineral inclusions, not natural crystal formations, but perfectly structured, intentionally designed microscopic optical fibers extending from the very core of the sphere to its outer surface. Let that sink in for a moment. Optical fibers. The same technology we use today for high-speed data transmission, for carrying light and information across vast distances with minimal signal loss. The same technology that forms the backbone of our global communications network. But these fibers weren't manufactured by human hands. They weren't placed there by any earthly intelligence. They were embedded within the sphere with mathematical precision, following curved and symmetrical paths that speak of engineering capabilities far beyond our current understanding. Now, the skeptical mind might ask, Mr. Cornwell, how can we be certain these aren't simply natural formations? How do we know this isn't just another case of seeing patterns where none exist? Smiling grimly. An excellent question, and one that Rios Lopez anticipated. You see, natural fiber formations, when they occur at all, are chaotic, random, following the whims of geological processes. They lack the uniformity, the transparency, the precise connection points that characterize synthetic optical fibers. But these microscopic marvels within the Buga sphere display all the hallmarks of advanced fabrication. They are uniform in their construction, transparent to light, and connected with engineering precision that suggests not just intelligence, but intelligence far superior to our own. The implications are staggering. If these fibers were functional, and every piece of evidence suggests they were, then we're looking at a communication system embedded within what can only be described as an extraterrestrial surveillance device. A surveillance device. Think about it. An object that appears from space, equipped with optical fibers capable of transmitting data from its interior to its exterior surface. An eye in the sky, as some researchers have termed it, capable of observing, recording and transmitting information across vast cosmic distances. But to whom? And from where? Recent crop circle formations, those mysterious messages that appear overnight in fields across the world, have pointed us toward Andromeda. That great spiral galaxy, our cosmic neighbor, teeming with the potential for civilizations far older and more advanced than our own. Could it be that the Buga sphere is more than just a probe? Could it be a relay station? A cosmic communication node transmitting real-time observations of Earth back to watchers in Andromeda? The evidence suggests something even more extraordinary. The sphere's Brinell hardness rating of 330 exceeds that of most aerospace aluminum alloys. This isn't just advanced technology. It's technology that surpasses our current manufacturing capabilities. We're not dealing with some crude primitive probe. We're examining an artifact that represents engineering mastery that makes our most sophisticated satellites look like stone axes by comparison. But let us delve deeper into the technical marvels that Rios Lopez uncovered. The optical fibers within the Buga sphere aren't uniform in diameter. Some are hair-thin, others microscopically smaller. This variation suggests different functions, perhaps some for data transmission, others for power distribution, still others for functions we can't even begin to comprehend. The positioning of these fibers is perhaps most telling. They don't simply run from point A to point B. They curve, they branch, they form networks that mirror the neural pathways of advanced biological systems. It's as if we're looking at the nervous system of some vast technological organism. And that, my dear viewers, raises the most unsettling question of all. Is the Buga sphere merely a machine? Or are we witnessing something that blurs the line between technology and life itself? Throughout history, humanity has told stories of watchers in the sky. The Bible speaks of the Nephilim, the watchers who descended from heaven. Ancient Sumerian texts describe the Anunnaki, beings from the stars who monitored human development. Hindu scriptures tell of Vimanas, celestial vehicles that could traverse both space and time. Were these merely myths, products of primitive imagination trying to make sense of natural phenomena? Or were they eyewitness accounts of a surveillance network that has been monitoring humanity since our earliest days? The discovery of optical fibers within the Buga sphere suggests the latter. We are not dealing with recent alien visitation. We are uncovering evidence of a monitoring system that may have been in place for millennia. Consider the implications. Every great leap forward in human civilization, agriculture, writing, metallurgy, spaceflight, has been observed, recorded, and transmitted across the cosmos to intelligences that have been watching our species evolve from the very beginning. But the Buga sphere is not alone. Rios Lopez's work on the Nazca mummies has revealed similar technological integrations, biological forms that incorporate synthetic elements, beings that appear to bridge the gap between organic life and artificial intelligence. Are we witnessing the products of genetic engineering? Are the tridactyl beings found in Peru the biological counterparts to the technological surveillance devices like the Buga sphere? Are they both parts of the same vast extraterrestrial monitoring network? The Russian military has recently begun using optical fiber drones specifically because they eliminate radio and electromagnetic interference. They understand that fiber optic communication represents the pinnacle of secure, undetectable data transmission. Now imagine that same technology, perfected over millennia by a civilization with access to resources and scientific understanding that dwarfs our own. Imagine surveillance devices that can operate completely undetected by our primitive electronic monitoring systems, transmitting data at speeds we can barely comprehend to destinations we can barely imagine. The Buga sphere may represent just one node in a vast network of monitoring stations. How many others have fallen to Earth over the centuries, only to be dismissed as meteorites or natural phenomena? How many lie buried in remote locations, still functioning, still watching, still transmitting? And what of the timing of this discovery? 2024, a year of unprecedented global change, technological advancement and social upheaval. Is it mere coincidence that the Buga sphere has revealed its secrets now at this crucial juncture in human history? I think not. I believe we are witnessing the beginning of a disclosure process, not from our governments, who remain stubbornly silent on these matters, but from the universe itself. The evidence is mounting to such a degree that truth can no longer be suppressed. The Buga sphere represent more than just advanced technology. They represent proof that we are not alone, that we never have been alone, and that our every move is being monitored by intelligences that view us with the same detached scientific interest with which we might study an ant colony. But here's the truly unsettling part. If these are surveillance devices, then their operators know we've discovered them. They know we're studying their technology, unraveling their secrets, beginning to understand the true nature of our situation. The question is, what happens next? When we return, we'll examine never-before-seen footage of X-ray technicians analyzing what can only be described as microscopic eyes within the Buga sphere, eyes that may still be watching even as we watch them. Don't go anywhere. The truth is just beginning to unfold. Fade back in. Mr. Cornwell sits with renewed intensity, new documents spread across his desk. Welcome back to the darkened crypt. I hope you used that brief intermission to prepare yourselves, because what we're about to explore will challenge everything you thought you knew about the nature of observation, consciousness, and the entities that monitor our world from realms beyond our understanding. Picking up a series of X-ray images. Before the break, we discussed the extraordinary optical fiber discovery within the Buga sphere. But as Rios Lopez continued his analysis, he uncovered something even more disturbing, even more paradigm-shattering than advanced communication technology. Holding up an X-ray image, he found eyes. Dramatic pause, not metaphorical eyes, not patterns that merely resemble optical organs, but microscopic structures that display all the characteristics of sophisticated visual detection systems, what can only be described as digital microscopic eyes embedded throughout the sphere's surface. These aren't random formations or mineral deposits. Each structure displays the complex geometry necessary for light detection, image processing, and data transmission. They are positioned at strategic points along the sphere's surface, providing comprehensive observational coverage of the surrounding environment. Imagine, if you will, a surveillance device of such sophistication that it doesn't merely record its surroundings, it watches them with thousands of microscopic eyes, each one capable of detecting and analyzing different spectrums of light, different forms of energy, different manifestations of reality that our primitive human senses cannot even perceive. The X-ray analysis reveals something even more extraordinary. These microscopic eyes aren't simply passive recording devices. They appear to be connected to the optical fiber network we discussed earlier, suggesting real-time data transmission capabilities that would allow instantaneous communication across vast cosmic distances. Think about what this means. Every movement, every development, every secret technological advancement, every political decision, every social transformation, all of it observed by thousands of microscopic eyes and transmitted instantaneously to intelligences that may be millions of light years away. We are not simply being watched. We are being studied with a level of scientific rigor and technological sophistication that makes our most advanced surveillance systems look like cave paintings by comparison. But who are these watchers? What is their purpose? And why have they maintained this vigil over humanity for what may be thousands of years? The answer may lie in our oldest stories, our most ancient memories. Throughout recorded history, humans have told tales of beings who watch from the heavens. The Sumerian Anunnaki, described as those who came from the sky to monitor human development. The biblical Nephilim, the watchers who descended to earth and took human wives. Hindu texts speak of cosmic observers who record the deeds of mortals for cosmic judgment. Were these stories metaphorical, products of primitive religious imagination? Or were they eyewitness accounts of an extraterrestrial monitoring network that has been in place since the dawn of human civilization? The microscopic eyes within the Buga sphere suggest the latter. We are not dealing with recent alien contact. We are uncovering evidence of a surveillance system that predates our written history, that has been monitoring human development since we first began to walk upright and look to the stars with wonder. The technical specifications of these microscopic eyes boggle the mind. Each one appears to be capable of detecting electromagnetic radiation across a spectrum far broader than human vision. Infrared, ultraviolet, gamma rays, cosmic radiation, forms of energy that reveal truths about our world that we're only beginning to understand. But perhaps most disturbing is the apparent intelligence built into each eye. These aren't simple light-detecting devices. The internal structure suggests processing capabilities, decision-making algorithms, the ability to focus attention on specific phenomena and transmit priority data based on program criteria. In other words, these eyes can think. They can choose what to observe, what to record, what to transmit back to their controllers in distant star systems. And the Buga sphere is almost certainly not alone. If this represents standard extraterrestrial surveillance technology, then similar devices may be scattered across the globe, hidden in remote locations, embedded in natural formations, disguised as meteorites or geological anomalies. The Nazca lines in Peru, could they be landing markers for surveillance device deployment? The mysterious stone spheres of Costa Rica, could they be camouflaged monitoring stations? The unexplained metallic spheres found scattered across remote areas of the world, could they all be part of the same vast observation network? Recent crop circle formations have provided tantalizing clues about the origin of this surveillance network. The May 18, 2025 formation in Dorset appears to show beings diving through a space-time wormhole, suggesting travel capabilities that transcend our understanding of physics. Earlier formations have pointed toward the Pleiades, that cluster of stars that features prominently in the mythologies of civilizations around the world. The Maya spoke of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent who came from the stars and promised to return. Could these crop circles be announcing that return? But there's an even more extraordinary connection. The timing of these revelations coincides with unprecedented political and social changes here on Earth. Some researchers have suggested connections between the mysterious figure known as Q and extraterrestrial disclosure efforts. When asked about the identity of Q, former President Trump responded cryptically, "You would be surprised." Could it be that the disclosure of extraterrestrial surveillance has support at the highest levels of human government? Could it be that some of our leaders have known about these watchers all along? The implications are staggering. If the microscopic eyes within the Buga sphere are indeed functional surveillance devices, then every major event in human history has been observed and recorded by extraterrestrial intelligence. Every war, every revolution, every technological breakthrough, every social transformation, all of it archived in databases that may stretch back to the dawn of human civilization. But here's what truly keeps me awake at night. If these eyes are still functional, if they're still transmitting data to distant star systems, then our discovery of them hasn't gone unnoticed. The watchers know that we've found their eyes, they know that we're studying their technology, they know that humanity is beginning to understand the true nature of our situation. What happens when the observed become aware of their observers? What happens when the subjects of a cosmic experiment begin to understand that they're part of something far larger than they ever imagined? The microscopic eyes within the Buga sphere may represent the most significant discovery in human history. They provide tangible, scientific proof that we are not alone in the universe, that we have never been alone, and that our entire development as a species has been monitored by intelligences that possess technology indistinguishable from magic. Each eye is a window into a cosmic truth that challenges everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe. We are not the masters of our own destiny. We are subjects in an experiment conducted by beings whose motives we can only guess at. Are they scientists, studying human behavior with the same detached curiosity with which we might study laboratory mice? Are they judges, recording our actions for some cosmic tribunal? Are they guardians, monitoring our development to ensure we don't destroy ourselves before we're ready to join a galactic community? Or are they something else entirely? Beings whose motivations and methods are so alien to our understanding that we cannot even begin to comprehend their true purpose. The X-ray analysis of the Buga sphere has opened a door that cannot be closed. We have seen the Watcher's eyes, and in doing so, we have caught a glimpse of our true position in the cosmic order. When we return for our final segment, we'll examine the broader implications of this discovery and what it might mean for humanity's future. You'll see exclusive footage of the X-ray technician examining these microscopic eyes, and we'll explore the question that haunts every serious researcher of the unexplained. Now that we know we're being watched, what do we do with that knowledge? We return now to the darkened crypt for our final exploration of the Buga sphere mystery. Throughout this investigation, we've journeyed from the discovery of advanced optical fiber technology to the revelation of microscopic surveillance eyes embedded within what can only be described as an extraterrestrial monitoring device. But as we prepare to witness exclusive footage of X-ray technicians examining these otherworldly eyes, we must ask ourselves the most important question of all. What does this discovery mean for humanity's future? For millennia, humans have wondered if we are alone in the universe. The discovery within the Buga sphere provides a definitive answer. We are not alone. We have never been alone. And our every action has been observed, recorded, and transmitted to intelligences that may be older than our solar system itself. This is not science fiction. This is not speculation. This is hard scientific evidence analyzed by credible researchers using state-of-the-art technology. The microscopic eyes within the Buga sphere represent proof of extraterrestrial intelligence that challenges every assumption upon which our civilization is built. Let us examine what we now know with certainty. The Buga sphere contains optical fiber networks of extraordinary sophistication, connecting microscopic surveillance devices that can detect and process electromagnetic radiation across spectrums far beyond human perception. These systems appear designed for real-time data transmission across cosmic distances. The engineering precision involved suggests technological capabilities that exceed our most optimistic projections for human advancement. We're not looking at technology that's merely decades ahead of our own. We're examining artifacts that represent millennia of scientific development by civilizations with access to resources and knowledge that dwarf our current understanding. But perhaps most significantly, the discovery suggests that this monitoring network has been in place for far longer than we initially believed. The integration of biological and technological elements, the sophistication of the surveillance systems, the apparent longevity of the materials, all point to a monitoring program that may have been active since the early days of human civilization.
Being able to discuss everything, because we are talking about nanotechnology.
This test cannot be discussed.
No, Jaime, here we have enough elements where there is very advanced technology.
That is what we are seeing here on the screen is what is being seen directly with the camera, the digital microscope in the sphere.
1,000 magnifications.
Indeed. It's fascinating to find this in one of the dark spots that we initially tried to see if this was metallic, and the result we got was that there was a polymer. And look now, this...
And the polymer has optical fiber embedded in it.
And there it is, very,
there are several, Jaime, and we can go there. Right now, we can count how many there are in this tunnel.
First, this presence of fibers first reveals that there is technology there
and it is unquestionable. Now, according to the expert who consulted with another fiber expert, these fibers are used as a sensor for the event in the atmosphere. Humidity, temperature, for example, pressure, all that. So if it is for the atmosphere, then these sensors are set for a device that has to be in the atmosphere. And it is precisely there where an object was seen levitating in the atmosphere.
And besides, all this information is being transmitted, right? That's why we detected a radio frequency here, Jamie. I don't know if you remember that I told you. Look, we have to work to be able to dismiss all the radio frequencies that are here in the place and be able to say, yes, this emits a radio frequency, and indeed,
yes, it is
emitting, yes.
It's broadcasting right now as well.
Right now, yes. Yes, it's a scanner.
Can I ask you something?
Can you explain it to me? That fiber you see is an optical fiber.
This is a typical optical fiber. Here you have a polymer, that is what covers it. And here is the part of the optical fiber, okay? They are made of... I did a chemical analysis on this part to see what it is. The optical fiber has silicon with some dopant. So chemical analysis was done. Here, where there is no optical fiber, it was chemical.
It is a microimage that was taken from a sample of one of the points on the equator of the sphere. Curiously, that point almost goes through the entire container, the casing.
What you see in the background, the science says this is likely brachiolite. It seems to be brachiolite. Each black dot.
The black part is a polymer whose composition has not been determined, but this polymer, incidentally, starts to degrade at around 310 degrees Celsius.
It begins to deteriorate. What is in the center is the trace, the presence of optical fibers. Evidently, you can see that there are different amounts of fibers with different densities of optical fibers. It is a vertical cut. We are... sorry.
It's aligned. What does it mean? That they are on the same plane. They are on the same plane. And why is it important?
Well, it's clear that there are different optical fibers present there. And we are talking about a micrometric image.
It means it has many optical fibers.
Will the whole sphere be filled? The little black dots?
At least the one who studied the scientist, that one, has this presence of optical fiber.
And what does this optical fiber measure?
Well, it seems they are sensors that precisely record environmental conditions such as humidity or atmospheric conditions, for example, temperature, etc. But
in other words, would this be irrefutable evidence that this sphere...
The optical fiber sticks to what looks like a talisman. Right now it is in the atmosphere.
If it is in the atmosphere, these figures serve precisely to detect a sensor of the conditions of the place where the sphere is. Do you see?
We go in.
Ah, right. This one seems to be more prominent.
So this one has more fiber optics than the other?
Yes, definitely.
And why would this be?
But Jaime, by having more fiber optics, does it mean that they are sensing more characteristics in the environment, or? Well, yes. I mean, here on Earth.
The important thing, I think, later on will be to try to identify or try to know
what are they for?
What each one of them is for, because we see that they have different sizes and different diameters. I even noticed some that do not have that encasement of the polymer. So
the polymer.
I see the fiber a little differently here.
As if it were at another angle.
Yes, at another angle, exactly.
That is to say, this is the slot. Here is optical fiber. It means that the entire sphere has optical fiber.
Yes, this is the slot, and this is the inside of the slot. And here inside, there is optical fiber, and it's filled with optical fibers.
This is the North Pole, the sphere. This is the South Pole, and it's the slot.
You can see
the union at the equator.
But the important thing here is that it means there's optical fiber throughout the entire sphere. Wherever we open it, there will be this fiber, right?
Oh, what is this, Rodolfo? It's a pole of the equator. You can see the polymer. And here are the optical fibers that are clearly swiped.
And what does this mean?
That it is full of optical fibers all over. This is at the equator, by the way.
Keep doing a sweep on it, David, and gradually fibers keep appearing. Always optical fiber, and there must be more around. Well, folks, here's another one, and here's another one, and there's another one. It's full of optical fibers.
It's
full of optical fibers.
The watchers have revealed themselves, perhaps because they believe we are finally ready to handle the truth of our situation. The question is not whether we are being watched. We are. The question is whether we will rise to meet the cosmic expectations that have been placed upon us, or whether we will prove ourselves unworthy of the attention we have received. The microscopic eyes within the Buga sphere continue to watch us even as we watch them. Every decision we make, every path we choose, every step we take toward or away from cosmic citizenship is being recorded and transmitted to beings whose judgment we cannot escape. Thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing. See you soon in the darkened crypt.